Hi, I'm Jamie.
And I'm Dale.
We're sisters and best friends, and this is Proof It's Possible.
Jamie and I are complete opposites, but somehow through every stage of life, we stay on the same team. We're kicking the door wide open and sharing our morning coffee chats with you.
Join us as we chat about everything from chasing our dreams to entrepreneurship to family, friendship, and what other craziness we have going on that week.
Hi guys, welcome back. We are on week 3 of our little mini Christmas series of podcasts, and today we are going to talk about food and all of the fun food traditions and things that we love about Christmas and what we're serving this year, what we've served in the past, and all the good stuff. So Jamie is our Christmas expert, as she has been.
Christmas expert and Christmas chef.
Yes, very much the family Christmas chef.
Well, but that's not true because our parents are like really amazing at turkey dinner. I play like such a small role in turkey dinner that I can't even give you credit. But
that said, though, that they do turkey dinner for sure, but you're like the one that I think they were like super grateful that you've taken over the other stuff so that the work gets spread out. And then I'm just the recipient. I just show up and enjoy myself.
She, as she's mentioned in past episodes, she just likes to do the tablescape. So as long as the table looks nice, that's all that truly matters in her eyes. So.
Exactly. I mean, I love eating. I'm there for the food, but.
Okay, so let's talk first about Christmas Eve. Yeah. Like when we were little and went to our grandparents' house, my one grandma and grandpa, the grandma was an insane cook.
She's my grandma too.
She's Dale's grandma too, but for the listeners that it's not their grandma, that's who I was talking to. She's an insane cook, and she like did everything from scratch right to the like dinner rolls that were served at Christmas dinner. She always did huge like pierogies, cabbage rolls, sausages, a ham, like everything on Christmas Eve. That was kind of the tradition. Would you remember anything? And all the stuff.
Do you know what makes me sad? Because she's passed away many years ago now, but I didn't appreciate it then. Like everybody was like, "Oh, grandma's cabbage rolls are the best in the world. Grandma's, pierogies were the best in the world." And I was like, "Are they? These are
like when you're 10, you're like
terrible." Yeah,
yeah. When you're 10, do you think anybody's cabbage rolls are good?
Probably not. Like you're not really interested in the flavors so at all. But now that I like love cabbage rolls, I love pierogies. I'm like, oh, I should have been more appreciative of all that homemade stuff. So, but you know what I loved about their house on Christmas Eve is that it was always a big family gathering. Like there was always lots of people, extended family. And then their
third cousins.
Yeah, third cousins, like their siblings' kids, their siblings' grandkids. So it was very much a drop-in, and there was always more food and snacks and sweets and homemade everything you could ever imagine. It's next level how much food they had in that house during the holidays.
Next level. But then once we got to be adults and we had to rein it in a little bit, like we weren't doing Christmas with our cousins because we weren't little anymore. Right. The traditions that we kind of adopted were like just doing appetizers on Christmas Eve.
Which is my favorite. Like if I could pick even if I go to a restaurant, I love going when people will share appetizers with me. That's like my favorite way to order. Getting a whole plate of food, I get sick of it. I don't want to eat the entire thing. I want to try like 5 people's things.
But like I feel like there's appetizers and then there's real appetizers. Like I hate like chips and dip and hummus. And I don't hate them. There's a time and a place for them. But I'm like
filler. Those are filler foods.
Yeah, I need like real food. Like when I talk appetizers, I want like stuffed mushroom caps. I want crab ragoon. Yeah. I want like a beautiful charcuterie board.
Me too.
Plus a warm appetizer. I want shrimp cocktail.
Yes. Or like I need like a crostini with a fancy jam with some cheese.
Meatballs. Meatballs.
Exactly.
Like, I'm talking. Yeah, I know you don't really like meatballs, but I'm talking like hearty appetizers.
Yes. Well, they have like protein. You feel like you ate a meal at the end. You didn't just eat like junk food. The problem with I love appetizers, but the problem with it is in order to put a party on with appetizers only, in order to get variety and heartiness, you need like 10 different things. And if you've got 6 people coming, 10 different things is a little bit
A lot.
extreme. Like, so,
Mhm.
but I would say that as adults and like within our immediate family is our most prominent tradition on Christmas Eve is like playing games and making appetizers. Wouldn't you?
Yeah, 100% for sure. But I
Also,
know,
we
like
pass it around.
I used to work at a steakhouse, and Christmas Eve was the busiest day of the year. So
Really?
I know that there's families out there
Yeah.
for sure that go to a steakhouse every Christmas Eve with their full extended family.
Yeah.
I
I
mean,
knew some people that they always like barbecued on Christmas Eve. Like that was their thing at home. They would make like a barbecue meal.
oh,
And I'm like, well,
okay.
that's just I don't know. That
In
seems like a
Canada.
sort of normal meal throughout a normal week. Not so
Yeah,
much
but
in
like in
the
Canada,
US.
like
Yeah,
tracking down your barbecue underneath all of the snow is a task in
totally.
itself.
Totally.
Okay.
Shoveling your barbecue out.
Yeah, exactly. Putting on your winter parka to like flip the
Yeah.
steaks, it's a
Well, like
lot.
that. And then you bring the steaks in the 1 second they sit on the plate to walk in. They're already freezing cold.
Totally. I
You guys
also
should
have
move
a
to
friend.
Canada. It's so great. You'll love it.
It's so good. I also have a friend that went for Chinese every single
Yes.
Christmas Eve. Like that's a big. I feel like that's a big tradition for a lot of families. Is they either order in Chinese food,
Yes.
or they go out for Chinese food.
Mhm. We've done that before, like a couple of random times. Another sort of weird
Oh,
Christmas thing.
with your other family or what?
No,
Where was
actually,
I?
it was when you were in Australia when you were young, and we had to have Christmas without you, and it was
No,
horrible.
that was
So
one Christmas. You know what they do in Australia? They eat prawns on the
the
beach.
beach,
That's
yeah,
their
and they
Christmas
barbecue them. I
tradition.
know.
And the prawns there have like their head and tentacles and all the things still. And
Hmm.
it was a big change for me.
I don't know if this is like true, or if it's just the internet telling me lies, but I wrote a blog once about traditions around food and around the holidays in different countries. And Japan, one of their like big traditions is because Christmas just isn't the same there apparently,
Hmm.
like it is in North America. People pre-order KFC, like Kentucky
Oh,
Fried Chicken. And I was like, what? So there's all kinds of things.
shout out to all the KFC owners. That's a great tradition to
No,
start for them, but like not my
totally.
preference. I wouldn't.
No, like to me, that's not a Christmas thing at all. It doesn't feel to
No,
me.
that's like a grab dinner when you have hockey
Oh
and
yeah,
need
and the
something
kids get
quick or
fed. Yeah,
yeah.
exactly. Um, what was oh do you remember the year that we had Christmas Eve at my house and we did the pasta bar? That was like fun, but it was so heavy. I felt
Yeah,
like you have
we
like
all needed a nap after. And like,
oh
do you want to just eat yourself into a coma? Have a pasta bar,
exactly, but
and
like
you could really love pasta.
you have to really love pasta. So, but what we basically did was we did like 2 or 3 kinds of noodles for people to choose from. So, like a ravioli, a spaghetti, and then a fettuccine or something. Like I don't remember the noodles. And then we did 3 different kinds of sauces, and then different things to like proteins to mix in and vegetables to mix in. And it was delicious, but like 6 bites later, I felt like
Yeah, and I felt like deconstructed. I would have liked it more because some of the we had chicken, ground beef, and lobster were our three proteins, and I was like, I just want a plate of the lobster. I don't want to mix it with my pasta.
totally same, but like I wasn't offering you that. So
No, that's true.
but we tried something different and we all kind of agreed that it was like fun for a Christmas,
Hmm.
but did not turn into a tradition.
The other thing is that if you have kids that will only eat pasta, a nice idea
Yeah,
because then you know your kids are at least going to eat dinner.
exactly.
Also, do you feel like it's pasta or pasta?
Pasta.
I
Pasta.
know, but do you think the American listeners or the Italian listeners are out there being
Oh
like,
yeah,
"Wow, those two
for
sound
sure.
Canadian"?
Oh, for sure. I definitely think that. Like I think that we have accents. Even when I come back from Phoenix or somewhere that I've been for like 3 or 4 weeks, when I used to stay longer, I would hear our accent. Like it was very noticeable. And then eventually it fades and you start not hearing it as much. But no, we absolutely have an accent, I think.
But I feel like a word like pasta just really is shining the spotlight on our
For sure.
accents. Okay, moving on. So that's Christmas Eve. What about Christmas morning? What do you love to eat Christmas morning?
Oh, I'm not a breakfast person at all. I don't even like eating breakfast, but I do like Christmas Day breakfast, and it's because you make delicious things. So the thing,
But you're a sweet breakfast
yes,
person. You're not a
yes, I
savory
don't
breakfast
really
person.
no, I don't really like eggs, so it takes a lot of the like healthier choices off the table for me. And I like dessert choices only
For
at breakfast
breakfast.
time. I just finished saying I didn't really like dessert, but that's a lie. It's only if it's for breakfast. So you make that what's it called? It's called like a
French toast
casserole,
casserole.
French toast casserole, that one. That is delicious. And it isn't actually not as sweet because you get to decide how much of the like strawberry syrup you put on.
Yeah,
Like,
so you can just Google French toast casserole and that will give you just like your all American or all Canadian French toast with like cinnamon and maple and all of that.
mhm.
But I like to do a special one that has cream cheese and strawberry syrup. And it's almost like a strawberry shortcake French toast, and it's absolutely spectacular. I
It's
have
on my
never,
blog. The recipe's on my blog, so you guys can go
and
to
I'll maybe put it on my
dancing.
Instagram too, so that
Mhm.
people can easily access it.
Yes.
My Instagram is Jamie D Francis. So if you want the recipe for that, you can find it there. Or Dale's blog. What's your blog?
DaleSheehanInteriorDesign.com/blog. And then
Okay.
all my past Christmas blogs are on there, and you can find a whole bunch of recipes. And
So all
I
of the
share,
recipes were stolen from me. So
yeah, I
if
was
you're
just gonna
curious,
say I'm really kind, and I share Jamie's recipes. I share my mother-in-law's recipes. I share my mom's recipes. I personally only have fudge recipes, so because fudge is the only thing I know how to make. Yeah.
Okay, back to Christmas morning. I love eggs, so I always want something savory for
Yeah,
breakfast.
totally.
But my kids don't really, they'll eat eggs, but just like eating bacon and eggs feels so everyday and not
Well, or like
special.
they like scrambled eggs all the time.
Mhm.
So
And the other thing is that like as we're opening gifts and doing all the things, the craziness, it's not that convenient to like be like, oh, hold that thought. I just gotta
yeah.
scramble up some eggs for everybody. So it's nice to have something that goes in the oven, like the set and forget kind of recipes. I know that we in the past have made that. I don't know what it's Mother Savior or something like that
Yeah.
from Companies Coming, where it's like hash browns on the bottom. It's a casserole and it's like hash browns on the bottom and then eggs mixed in, and you can put like onions, peppers, mushrooms, whatever you guys,
Cheese, whatever. Yeah.
cheese, bacon, sausage, whatever you like. But I don't really love that. That's just not
See, and
my
if I'm
jam.
gonna eat eggs, I would eat that more than I would just eat an egg on a plate. Like I don't
My
mind them at
problem
all.
is I don't really care for potatoes. So anything that's
Oh.
potato based, I'm like, ooh, that's a no for me.
Hmm. Yeah, the breakfast foods are my least favorite of all the Christmas tradition food things that we
Yeah, and
like.
you know what else we've done in the past? Because our
What?
mom only likes breakfast baking. She loves like a beautiful bakery, like a
Yes,
croissant and a Danish and um,
scone.
a scone. Oh my
Yes,
God, she loves scones so much. So she'll go the day before Christmas Eve and get all of the offerings of a local bakery, and then we'll just do like a
yeah,
continental style breakfast. But I mean, that too for me is super heavy in that I'm like, okay,
yeah.
I
And
need
then
to
you're like want to go to
dinner.
bed, and you still have to make all the
You
food for
still
the
have to
day,
clean up all
clean
the
up.
wrapping paper
Yeah,
and put together all
exactly.
the toys and do all
Yeah,
the
and
things.
set up all the toys and play
And a
all the
nap's not on
toys.
the table. Yeah.
Exactly.
And then
Exactly.
we never really eat lunch on
No,
Christmas. We just go straight from breakfast to dinner. And we like an
we
early
do
dinner.
for sure.
I'll, I'll speak for her too. We as
We
one.
do. But it's because you're going to have a turkey bun after dinner, so you have to leave
Of
room before
course.
bed for that. So that's
Of course.
actually lunch. We just flip them.
Yeah, of
Yeah,
course.
and then I feel like turkey dinner is the star of the show. Like that's why that's the like Christmas thing. But
I know
I
so many
do
people that don't eat turkey on Christmas, especially Americans, because they have Thanksgiving so close to Christmas.
right.
So like we just had that. We would
Yeah.
never.
Or so do you think that people eat ham or like what's the alternative?
I don't know. I don't know.
Well, and
We
like
need to get
I feel like Italians have a whole feast of food that they do like
Yeah, that's the Feast of the Seven Seas or whatever it's called, the Seafood Feast of the Seven Seas. That don't quote me on that. That's definitely not the name, but it's something along those lines. But I feel like that's a Christmas Eve thing. I could be wrong.
Maybe.
I don't know, but that I mean I could get on board for that. I love seafood, so I
Me
could do
too.
it.
I love seafood, but then to me, I don't think it would feel like Christmas. Like that's the weird thing about traditions is that I'd be like, well, I'm still wondering when turkey dinner is. Like when
where's
do we have
where's
that?
my turkey bun to fill my belly while I play games?
Exactly. And go to bed nice and early because everybody's tired. Because your
Exactly.
kids really do like to wake up nice and early.
Oh yes. So early.
Um,
And then what about dessert? Are you a dessert on Christmas or no?
yeah, I like dessert. I don't need like we kind of chatted about this in the past, but like I need a few bites of dessert. So it's nice of me to not contribute to the meal and expect dessert, but only be willing to have like 4 bites of it or a sliver. But I do want the sliver, even though I've eaten more chocolates, more fudge, more whatever.
I'm going to say that no dessert for Christmas because there's usually a plate of baking. So if somebody wants like a shortbread cookie, they can take it off the plate.
That's true. Oh, there's always too much just sitting
Baking. So like
snacks.
I feel like planning a dessert, like being like, okay, now it's time for pie, just feels
Yeah, I feel like you need it though. It's how you complete a meal.
really.
Hmm. I really do.
No, I think you put out a plate of all of the baked sweets and everyone can sit down and eat what they want.
I'm sick of those. I've had those for 3 days already, and I don't want those represented on a new plate. I want a fresh, special dessert with like a scoop of ice cream.
One thing everyone should know about Dale is she's a little bit controlling of the
No,
like
I'm not.
meal
I'm
situation.
absolutely.
Yeah.
I feel
Yeah,
like
she
I'm
is.
not at all. I'm the most like I'm not. I'm low level. Like I like the things that I like, but like
I like
your
what I
kid.
like and I'm not gonna be apologetic about it.
So sorry, not sorry. But like your kids boss me around 24 hours a day when I'm
Yeah.
with
Oh
them, and
yeah.
I
Of
don't
course.
say no. I don't, like
Mhm.
whatever it is, it is. I get told be at the house at 6 a.m. or 5:30 in the
Okay,
morning,
I will
and I
take it
do all
back.
that.
She's not controlling about food.
Yeah.
Us as a
No.
family, we're pretty controlling about turkey dinner. We don't like to
Yes.
deviate too much from, like, we don't want
Hmm.
cranberries in our stuffing. Those aren't welcome.
For sure.
And
I
I
agree.
apologize if you've got that, like, just the most amazing cranberry stuffing recipe, but we don't want pecans in our
Yeah,
stuffing.
it needs to be traditional. Like I just want the thing to stay
And
simple. Like
I want green bean casserole. I want Brussels sprouts. I want all of the things. And I don't want to get,
and
I could
Darren,
skip potatoes.
I always make green bean casserole when we have turkey dinner. And Darren's like told me at Thanksgiving, he's like, you don't need to make that. Nobody will eat it. And I'm like, what? I'll eat it. It's like my favorite thing on the plate. And he's like, it's weird. It's not that good. And I'm like, what are you talking
So do
about?
we just like as a family drum up some divorce papers or how do we, where
Exactly.
do we
I'm
go
like, you're
from
saying
here?
weird things. That's the best thing. So he's like, well, go ahead and make it if you'll eat it. But I'm like, well, if nobody else is going to eat it, I don't need a whole casserole to myself. So I didn't make it. And it felt wrong. Felt like
It
we
does,
needed that
yeah.
green thing on the plate that we didn't have.
Yeah.
Because we had
I
other
also,
vegetables, but
I
we
feel
didn't.
like salad is not welcome
I
at
agree.
Christmas.
Like I make the salad every time thinking it's the right thing to do. But
I
I
don't even make,
myself take like 4 bites worth. Like it's not even, nobody takes it. It's
no,
not worth
nobody
it.
takes it. No.
Nobody wants it. So one
And
thing I'm
then,
also really controlling about, and mom taught us this, is that the bread or the buns have to be the freshest buns on the planet.
yes. And
They
oftentimes
cannot.
that means you had to pre-order so that
You
you're
had to
not just
pre-order,
getting,
you had to like pick up at the closing time
yeah,
the day
Christmas Eve.
before. Like,
Hmm.
yeah, you'd like leave Christmas Eve to go get the buns at their
Hmm.
optimal temperature.
And always buy double the buns you need for the dinner. So if
Absolutely.
you have 12 people for dinner, bare minimum 24 buns because everyone's going to take a
I
bun at
agree.
dinner and then everyone wants a turkey bun after.
For sure. And your kids are also like, while you're making the dinner, your kids will each eat one bun just while they walk around.
Yeah, for sure.
Like that with butter and jam on it or something. So like the buns just seem to disappear. I agree.
Yes.
So.
Okay, I want to hear all about your Christmas traditions and the food that you eat at the holidays, because as much as I love what we do, I'm open.
Me too.
I'm
I
open
want
to
to
new
hear
ideas.
if somebody has like something great that I would consider.
For sure. Okay, thank you guys. See you next time.
We are so grateful you're here.
It would mean the world to us if you'll subscribe to our podcast and YouTube channel and leave us a review.
If you want to hear more from us, go to proofitspossible.com to join our mailing list and find our social links so you don't miss a thing.
Thanks, and chat next time.